They said it was impossible. They said,
you can't put together the most elite team of comic book reviewers on the planet and do, a podcast or something like that?
Despite all that, today we can proudly announce. Yeah, they were right. We couldn't do it. So instead, we brought you the most vile, ignorant, unprofessional group of comic book enthusiasts we could find. This is Panel to Panel, the Game Rage Magazine comic podcast.
Panel to Panel, and today we're going to be doing Darth Vader number 2.
Oh, yes.
Panel to Panel, Darth Vader takes a number 2.
Oh, man, I can't wait. I can't wait to get into this issue because it's a real doozy of an issue.
Oh, it's a banger, if you will. But before we get into that, you want to, go see more of our stuff, you can go to GameRageMagazine.com. You can follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Game Rage Magazine, Twitter/X at Game Rage Mag, YouTube, Game Rage Magazine. If you like music, you can go listen to me and Adam fucking shit all over this reboot of Linkin Park on All Gas No Trash. Why are you shaking your head like?
Because it's such a
travesty.
It's such an FU to Chester Bennington, dude.
Yeah, it really is, man. But you can go listen to that on All Gas No Trash, and you can go follow All Gas No Trash, which is Adam, at All Gas No Trash Official on Instagram. If you like anime, or you like
mangas,
you can go listen. Mangoes? No, it's manga.
The mangas.
You can go listen to the Anime Syndicate podcast, and you can follow Frank at anime_syndicate_podcast. And since we're talking about Star Wars, you might as well go listen to the new... Unlike Linkin Park, we rebooted the Game Rage Star Wars podcast and no one has died. So it's totally acceptable for us to do that because everyone's still alive. So you can go listen to the Game Rage Star Wars podcast. All right. Let's get into it. Darth Vader, numero dos.
I need a Galactic Empire cod piece like the Stormtroopers.
Oh, yeah, man. It is like perfectly shaped as well, God, so great.
Notice that two assholes has their gun tilted down, not to shoot anybody. One asshole has one up.
And you know what's funny too? He has his finger on the trigger as well. So horrific trigger discipline, and it's pointed at his buddy right next to him.
Yeah.
Damn.
And I just want to preface. I don't know if this is how it's going to function all the time, but I just want to preface with saying I really enjoyed this issue, and I feel like I preemptively made a decision about what these comics could be, or even like anything that contributes to the expanded universe, that it wouldn't be adding a whole lot. And I was so wrong, because just within this issue alone of what I imagine his name being pronounced Tag, Commander, or I forget his
Grand General Tag.
Grand General Tag, right?
Yeah.
My perception of him has changed completely to the point that I'm like, this dude's kind of legit. Like, I mean, I don't fuck with the Empire, but this guy has a point, and we'll see why in a few pages.
Yeah, exactly. And what's funny too is the whole laziness of Palpatine. Like, anybody who's in charge, just put Grand in front of whatever their titles were. Grand Moff Tarkin, Grand Admiral Thrawn, Grand General fucking Tag. Like, Jesus Christ. How lazy is the Empire?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe we'll find out more with more issues.
Yeah, now, in classic panel-to-panel / Game Rage fashion.
This has to be a real. I need to make it real one of Vader. I need to go back and make this one fucking for the exposition or the lead. These have to be their own fucking things. This is fucking hilarious.
Yeah, we should. You should just make it its own thing. Yeah, not the actual reel itself, but just make a reel for it.
Yeah.
So I will read in 1920s announcer guy or 1930s announcer guy voice the crawl for this issue. Book 1, Part 2, Vader. It is a period of insurgence. The Empire's ultimate peacekeeping force, the Death Star, was destroyed due to an unforeseen design flaw. Without this deterrent, the rule of law is in danger. Chaos looms. Due to his responsibility for the disaster, Darth Vader has fallen in the eyes of the Emperor Palpatine. Grand General Tag is to command the response to the rebellion. Unknown to the Emperor, Vader is quietly pursuing his own interests. The mysterious force-strong pilot who destroyed the Death Star.
But known to us.
Unbeknownst to the Empire, but known to us. Oh, man. And then we get straight into it with this opening sequence of it's not the Tantive 4, but it's a Rebel blockade runner or a blockade runner ship. It looks exactly like the Tantive 4. Attacking a Lambda-class Imperial transport shuttle. And it's getting pretty fucked up. They're getting fucked. This is where the Empire is like, oh, man, we should have put shields on some shit because now we're just going to start getting our shit pushed in.
Yeah.
And so these these Imperials are just like, oh, man, we're getting fucked. This is going to be the end of it for us. And they basically are about to get destroyed. And who comes in to save the fucking day? The man, the myth, the legend himself, Darth Vader in his fucking TIE Advanced X2, because the X1 got fucked up, I think, in the first fucking Death Star. Yeah. So
Battle of Yavin.
Yeah. After he basically spun in space powerless for fucking a week and a half.
Where did he end up after that? Do they explain that in another book or something?
Well, I mean, he just spins in space and then he eventually gets picked up. Like Palpatine, I think he reaches out through the Force to tell Palpatine that he's alive or something, and then they send some Star Destroyers to come pick him up or whatever.
All right.
Because he has his own life support system on everything.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
So, anyways, and then this is a cool ass panel, man. And obviously, there's no smoke in space, but this is still cool. I don't care. I put aside the physics and the reality to see this awesome shit. Flying through the smoke, and Vader's just torpedo destroyed. Have faith.
England prevails. The Empire prevails.
Yep, and now they're going after this fucking Rebel blockade runner. Oh, this Rebel blockade runner ship, and essentially it's automated. Like the ship is not piloted. There's no human crew on it, and Vader just basically just strafes it and just fucks the shit out of it. Disables the engine core, and
impressive.
Yeah, most impressive. And he goes back to the Star Destroyer Annihilator, which is a fucking great name for a goddamn ship, man.
Man, it's so sad. Vader's basically a gopher.
Yeah, at this point.
Go for this, go for that.
Yeah, he gets relegated to gopher status. He's basically saying, like, hey, listen, I got this pirate Corvette. It is robotic as we thought. These were high-quality robotics. And well supplied. These aren't these pirates are no fools. And then this is where you get to see this this General Tag fucking start showing that he's got some main character fucking energy.
He does.
And he's basically just telling him like, listen, Vader, yeah, that's why we need to find out where these fucking raids are coming from because we got to put a stop to this. And it doesn't do us any good to basically whoop-de-fucking-do. You got this deal with Jabba the Hutt. But if the supplies start getting picked off by pirates, well, what the fuck was the point of that? And he turns to him and looks at him with like a side eye and he says, and that's Grand General Tag, Vader. Doesn't even use his honorific title of Darth or Lord. Just calls him Vader. Like, you are beneath me right now. And he goes on to say, like, man, I think there's like some kind of or Vader's telling him, like, I think there's like a security breach. Like, I think we have an issue. How are they fucking able to know where all this shit's happening? And Tag's like, yes, listen, I'm aware. I have all the facts, buddy. I got everything.
It's within our models to know that this is not the peak of crime, or it won't escalate past this. I have pieced that together with his analytics, his Star Wars analytics with the visuals and everything.
His Empire Soft Excel spreadsheets that he's got going on there. And he basically says, man, he's like, how many Super Star Destroyers could we have built with the amount of fucking resources we threw into what he refers to as Tarkin's folly, which
Dude,
was
I fucking love these two panels alone.
Yeah.
This alone justifies the character within the comic.
Yeah, absolutely. And Vader tells him, Tarkin had vision. You have graphs. But that's why this shit's different, because he is right. One super weapon. Now, granted, it may have been needed to, because in the canon, the old canon, I don't know about the new canon or whatever, but in the old canon, the whole reason Palpatine made the Death Star in the first place was to fight the Yuzong Vong. That's the whole fucking reason, was because he knew that they were coming, and that is really, if you go down to the base level, is the reason why he had to create the Empire, was because he knew that this galaxy would not survive an invasion of the Yuzong Vong. So he creates the Empire. Yes, he has the added benefit of being the Emperor and having total control, but initially it was to fight off this galaxy-ending race of beings that just kill everything, and they're immune to the Force. There's nothing that no one can defeat them.
And also, the time that it would take to unify the planets after the fact that they would be invaded.
Too long.
That's a loss already.
Yeah, it takes way too long. So, anyway, he responds to that graphs comment with, yes, I have graphs and the command. And he goes on to say, like, listen, this shit is not as glamorous or grandiose as what Tarkin, had envisioned, but the shit that I'm saying, this shit works. It's effective. And he says the bigger plans can't be based on any singular thing. No Death Star, hell, not even you, Vader.
He has a point.
And that is a very good point. This is where the logistical thinking, and this is his whole theory, is logistics wins wars, which is true. And if you don't have their logistical system in place, which again, having multiple God, how many fucking Super Star Destroyers could they have built with the amount of shit that they spent on the Death Star?
I don't know, but it also lends to that kind of forethought actually ending up happening within episode 8 and 9 about the New Order just having a giant ass fleet of fucking Star Destroyers or super Star Destroyers. Man, he was fucking right.
Yeah, he was, because that's the way you do it. That's how you maintain control, by controlling every little fucking thing. One Death Star's, it'll keep everybody in line for a little while until they figure out how to fucking all band together and kill it, which is basically what happened. So then he says, assets like this are used as what I like to refer to as a force multiplier, which that's kind of what Vader is. Like, Vader's not an individual asset that's going to just wipe the field or whatever. He's going to be a force multiplier to make it so that, oh shit, our conventional shit that we're sending in, this is extra enhanced when Vader's there or whatever. So he basically says, he comes up with this plan that we're gonna fucking repair this Corvette enough to where it'll pass an examination, and we're gonna send it back, and we're gonna use it to figure out where all this shit is coming from. And Vader's just telling him, like, hey, it's not enough to just do that. These fucking pirates have to have fucking failsafe after failsafe. If the base gets taken, they're gonna blow it up. Why would they not sacrifice something in order to avoid the full wrath of the Empire? And Tag agrees with him, and he says, it's why that, the team must secure the information before that happens, which is why I'm sending our greatest warrior to head the mission.
Fuck.
Dude, this panel right here where he's like, and that's like the grandioseness of, and it's like the sarcasm and like the grandioseness of he's opening his arms and he's saying, hey buddy, this is why I'm sending our greatest warrior, you.
Dude, the worst part is yet to come. Like this little piece of dialogue, it's fucking awesome.
And he tells Vader, in time you'll understand that this is all for the best. You should think of yourself as your lightsaber, a singular weapon from an older time, one that is dangerous to everyone around them without a skilled hand to wield it. In time you will understand that I am the skilled hand you've been waiting for. Damn, man.
It's so sad. It's like the puppet master telling the puppet, know your role and shut your mouth, dude.
Damn. And now Vader is about to go check into the SmackDown hotel right after. So then he goes on to say that this is a time of realignment, and I've assigned you an adjutant. And he says, this is Lieutenant Unai. I'm just going to call him Unai. And he basically tells Vader, I have a snitch. This snitch is going to be reporting to me everything that you do and everything, and he is not to leave your side. So he tells Vader, will this be a problem? And Vader does not, it's so funny how, again, like we said in the last issue, with the guy with the mask, you can tell he is fucking angry right
he's
here.
livid.
Like, he is fucking pissed. And he just says, we will see. God damn. So then, of course, this fucking asshole, Lieutenant Unai, is immediately snitching it up, being a dickhead. Oh, hey, buddy, I'm gonna need all access to all your communications, and I need everything, man. I need to be plugged into all your stuff, man. And Vader tells him that he doesn't require a clerk's meddling fingers. And this guy's like, oh shit, I'm about to get my fucking dick ripped off by this guy. I better fucking, hey man, these are just my orders, buddy. But these are just orders. If you refuse, I'll have to tell the general, and you don't want me to do that, right? So come on, man, just do it. Just do it. Come on, just do it. So then Vader just goes, Tag commands me, it is as the Emperor wills. You watch me, it is as Tag wills. But I suggest you be careful, Unai. My patience is not without limits. And then, and then as Vader is saying this shit, thinking it in his inner monologue, this guy's literally sitting at a console going, yes, very interesting, very interesting, Lord Vader, you seem to be particularly obsessed with the minutia. Or no, Vader's saying this. He says, he's telling him, like, you are obsessed with the fucking tiniest minutia of the shit that I do. Wouldn't your time be better spent getting ready for the fucking shit we're about to go on? And then he tells him, that's your mission, Lord Vader. That's your. I don't have nothing to do with that. This is my mission, just to watch you. What's this deal with some bounty hunter called Boba Fett? And then Vader just says, it is a private matter. I will explain when we return. And he tells him, even if you don't have to prepare, I have to prepare. He tells this little fucking R5 droid, come with me. And off we go into the mission. And we see the blockade runner rolling up, and it's like some asteroid fucking kind of base or some shit like that. And somebody just goes, hey, the droid ship is back. The extreme outer edge, or the extreme edge of the outer rim. Man.
I want to know if that asshole's Neum Noom, dude.
No, it's definitely not. This guy's a pirate. Oh,
that's right.
So he's not a fucking rebel. So basically, we've got a fucking male Twi'lek, a Neon Nub, whatever the fuck that race is called, and a fucking some kind of
the catfish people. I forgot what they're called.
Yeah, they're like the enemy of the fucking Akbar race. What are they? God damn it! What are the
I don't fucking know, dude.
Squids. Anyways, so the male Twi'lek goes out there, and man, this dude does look like a straight shitbag, man. He just has this look of like, man, this guy is like a drug addict. Like, he's addicted to death sticks and like just fucking, oh yeah, let's get another score here. And he goes in, he opens the door, and who's there? Oh, it's just Darth Vader fucking lifting him off the fucking ground with the Force and a shit ton of stormtroopers. And then the R5 droid runs out, and he starts fucking beep boop, beep boop, beep boop, fiddle fucking around. And basically these guys are like, oh shit, it's fucking Imperials, it's Vader. Oh my God.
I would have shit my pants immediately.
Yep. And he basically says like, oh man, Afra made big promises for these. And we know who that is because, this was from fucking 9 years ago. But we'll get to later who they're referring to, obviously. And then they're basically like, man, these things better fucking work. And so old buddy Imperial R5 rolls out of the fucking thing a la R2-D2, and he peeks his head out, and he's
scooting out into
into space.
On the surface of the ship.
And then he goes out, and he's rolling on the outside. And basically, Vader's like, man, I wonder why they haven't activated the self-destruct just as something fucking explodes. And he's like, God damn it. All the stormtroopers are getting fucked up. And he's just like, this is inconvenient. And who rolls through? Some heavily fucking advanced and armed droidicas. Man, these things are bad fucking ass. Look at these, like, this is like a quad cannon. This is like a fucking missile launchers. They got all these extra shits. Like, these are like some hella fucking crazy goddamn
decked out droidicas.
Yeah, decked out droidicas. So basically, Vader says, like, man, they haven't turned on the self-destruct, so they must think they still have a chance to win this. So fucking A. And his little fucking adjutant, Unai, is like, oh man, these guys are getting torn apart, man. Can you do anything? He's like, a lightsaber will only cause the missiles to explode. So oh man, so there's nothing you can do? Man, all your reputation and he's like, no. There is always something I can do. That is such a great fucking line, man. And then he reaches out with the Force and the smoke and laser blasters all around him. And then we see fucking go back to old droid R5. Actually, I think this might be an R4 unit now that I'm looking at him closer up. Imperial droid goes in and Vader just fucking starts doing some Force shit to these droidica. And he sends the missiles that they launched right back at him. And just essentially incinerates them. And the droids just goes back to the droid trucking along outside. He's looking around, and the pirates are about to die, and they basically activate the self-destruct. And Vader's like, yo, everybody get back to the ship. Unai, you come with me, good buddy. And he's like, what? And he's like, I'm going to complete my mission. Your mission, Unai, is to watch me. Do not abandon your mission, Unai. And this guy is like, oh, fuck. I'm about to die, aren't I? And Vader tells him, we do not suffer failure. And then this guy's like, oh, hurry up, Vader. Come on, man. And he says, it's done. They're running back out. This guy, Vader's just calmly walking. And then this dude's crouched, he's covering his ears.
We're all gonna die.
Yeah, he's like, good God almighty. They get back into that little ship and they take off. And literally the fucking asteroid base explodes a la the Death Star with that fucking...
The ring.
Yeah. That's fucking cool. And Unai is like, oh, thank God we fucking made it. And Vader's like, yep, we did. Now we got to report our findings. And Vader goes up to Tag and he says, hey, man, I'm impressed. Your plan was perfect. These pirates were being backed by the Crymora. And he says, oh, good. Now we know where to act. Next Unai. And he looks and Vader has him fucking by his collar. And he says, you were wrong in one crucial area. There was a leak. I already suspected him from how closely he was prying, but we found information in the pirate system that identified him as a traitor. So that little R4 droid went in there and was fucking around. Unai, so close to you, must have known your methods and exactly how much could be stolen without drawing suspicion. Vet your next adjutant more closely. I will be watching them as closely as they watch me. And then Vader tells the dual droid, have you purged all evidence of your data upload? And then he's like, beep boop, yes, good buddy, I have. And then Vader just tells him, good, fuck off. And the little droid, when he says to leave, and the little droid self-destructs himself outside. So sad, man. He just fucking goes, cool. And he goes out and he blows himself up. And then Vader says, droids, one can always trust droids.
the loyalty.
Yeah, the loyalty. And then we get the next issue, which this is a very cool, cover. Yes. You got Dr. Afro, you got Vader, giant head in the background. You have a
interpreter droid or whatever.
Evil C-3PO, which, this was this before the fucking episode, what was it, 9? When they had evil C-3PO with his red eyes and shit.
I don't remember.
And then we got another little fucking... This is basically going to be... This is R2-D2 and C-3PO, but the evil version, basically. So, yeah, man. Goddamn, that issue was so good.
I love the fact... It was I don't know if you were watching Vader Zim.
Oh, yeah.
When Zim's like, good, now you have permission to self-destruct. And then Zim's fucking... God damn it, what's the little dog's name that's a robot?
Oh,
Gur?
Yeah.
Gur's like, hooray!
Hooray! Now I can die.
Fucking whatever model droid that was, he's like, oh, hooray, I can self-destruct.
Oh, my mission
complete.
Yeah, my purpose is now fulfilled. Hell yeah.
I like that little comment from Darth Vader. You can always trust a droid.
Yeah, because they just killed themselves afterwards.
And also, yeah, the real highlight for me actually wasn't even fucking Vader. It was Tag laying down the facts about why the Empire licks balls and how they could have used their resources to create an unlimited fleet, or virtually an unlimited fleet of Star Destroyers to eradicate the Rebel Alliance, and they put too much into the Death Star and really fucked themselves. I love that.
Yep, me too. That's pretty fucking awesome. So, anyways, you got anything else to add?
Nope.
Cool.
Let's
get to a go. Man, I can't wait to read number 3. Anyways, if you want to hear more of our stuff, go to GameRageMagazine.com. You can follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Game Rage Magazine, Twitter/X at Game Rage Mag, YouTube, Game Rage Magazine. You can follow Adam and go listen to the All Gas No Trash podcast, and you can follow him on Instagram at All Gas No Trash Official. If you like anime and manga, you can follow Frank at anime_syndicate_podcast and go listen to the Anime Syndicate podcast. All right. Oh, don't forget to go check out Game Rage Star Wars, since, you like Star Wars, apparently, if you're fucking listening to us talk about this shit. All right, that's it for us. Guess we'll catch you guys on the next one.
That was Panel to Panel, the Game Rage Magazine comic book podcast. Thanks for listening. If you want to know more and follow along, go to Instagram and TikTok. Follow at Game Rage Magazine. If you want to follow on Twitter/X at Game Rage Mag. Tune in next time.